Boring, lonely.
All right. So I forgot to flip on the recording for this particular episode. So we're gonna start
Oh,
right now. Not for the episode, but just in general. Well, we'll start with a day in the life of.
oh.
That's all
There's a
right.
good
We're doing
Johnson.
it's a live broadcast. That's all right. People are interacting. It's great. You were coughing a lot. We're not going to release this episode anyway.
I'm gonna cough now just to piss you off. God.
All right. So let's talk about a day in the life of a productive agent. Well, actually, let's make fun of the day in the life of a typical realtor. How about that? Let's do that first because that sounds like fun. So what's
boring? Slow, non-productive. Starting at maybe 10:30, 11, ending maybe 3:30. Justifying why you start so late, why you ended so early. You're drinking a lot of the coffee at the office, but not doing a lot of work because you don't want to do the work. So you don't want to hear the word no. Once you hear the word no, you run with your tails between your legs because, oh my God, what an offensive word. I can't believe someone would say that to me. That hurt my feelers. But in reality, I mean, that's what a lot of I always joke around that the typical agent, and anyone who watches the show is not a typical agent. So I'm not yelling at you guys. I'm yelling at all the other idiots that aren't listening to the show and are just bumblefucking their way through the business. But a lot of people just go to the office in the morning for two reasons, Matt. Do you know what they are?
I'm going to go with coffee.
That's one.
Well, I was going to say coffee and creamer, but how about I'm going to go a little bit. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say coffee and conversation.
Well, it's close. It's coffee and get away from their spouse.
Well, there's that.
Maybe that does involve conversation finally for once in their day.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a lot of the time what agents do. They just go there and they wait, but they eagerly stare at this thing called a phone, like ring. Damn it, it's not ringing. Why is it? I'm looking at it, Matt. Why is it not ringing? That's what a typical.
Nobody wants to sell their house. The market's bad right now.
It's horrible. It's horrible. I can't believe that Bob's having a record year.
Nobody's going to do anything until after the election, before the election. I mean, now that the election's over, nobody's going to do anything until the next election.
Oh, no one's going to do anything until the next election. Oh, that's funny. Don't make me laugh, dude. That shit seriously fucking hurts. Ow. My whole head is like being squeezed. Okay, so let's talk about what an agent should be doing to be productive. Want to talk about that?
Yes. Yeah. So okay, what does a productive day? Give us an idea of your average day.
Non-sick day.
We'll talk about a week because we'll get to the week in a second. But just what's a good productive day for Greg McDaniel?
Up around 4:45. Rubbing the sleep out of my eyes, waiting for my alarm to go off at 5. I sit there and let it go one cycle just so I can actually get up, do a little mental gymnastics, kind of pumping myself, get myself up in the morning. Then I bounce out of bed. I have a little mantra I say to myself. I say, today's going to be an amazing day. Today's going to be an amazing day. And then today is going to be an amazing day. And that's when my feet touch the ground. I'm up and running. Go brush my teeth, feed my furry bastards. And I get dressed, go to the gym. I work out for about an hour and a half, come back, get cleaned up. Eat some food, get into the office around 8:30, depending on traffic. While I'm driving through traffic, I'm listening to either a podcast or one of my books, my Audible books that I'm listening to. So I'm getting education for the 25-minute ride in. Get into the office, get situated, get my coffee, because you got to get your coffee. Coffee's for closers. So why are you drinking it again? And then at that point, I sit down and I start, going through my emails and getting those all cleaned up. By the way, guys, if you guys have just a mess of emails in there of all the subscriptions, go to unroll.me, and sign up for it, guys. You can put all these emails into one email, so you don't just sift through them, but you still click on them if you do want that one email. It's going to be in the Unroll email, so it saves you. I used to do 30 to 45 minutes of emails every morning. It takes me 15 minutes now.
Oh wow!
I'm
just surprised you did 45 minutes of that. I have like an old email, and that's the only thing I use for opt-ins anymore. And so I literally only check it when I feel like it. Other than that, pretty much the only thing that comes into my main business email is business.
Oh, well, good for you. Aren't you just organized and shit?
Yeah. Do what I can.
Do what I can, man.
All right. So anyway, you get your coffee, you sit down. I assume that you go through the office and one by one talk to the other agents who are also not there prospecting. Just to
yeah,
make sure, just to get caught up on the events of the day, the election, the trauma of the election,
and then
the
the trauma of not the election.
The PTSD treatments going on for the election.
Yes. I have none of those conversations ever. I have my trusty earbuds in, which will allow me to, like a ghosting cloak. I just put it over me and I just fly through the hordes of the agents in the office to, because I don't want to talk to you. I'm sorry. I like you. I don't want to talk to you because I got shit to do. I go get my coffee. I zip back and then I sit down and I start doing my day and whatever my calendar is, for that day.
Yeah, so that's what I want to get into. So what does that look like? Where are you fitting in your lead gen into all? Because you and I are doing podcasting 3 days a week. You're also doing some teaching for Jay Rockcliffe. I don't know if you're halfway present for most of those, but I think you're there. I think you're there most of the time. Yes, we're podcasting 3 days a week, Greg. And then you're doing teaching for Jay Rockcliffe. I mean, so you've got other things going on besides just your real estate career, and you're still managing to actually do real estate. So when do you fit in the prospecting?
Well, for me, because I love to, let's put it that way. I love to show folks that are on the lead gen page, like all of you guys that are watching live right now and then watching the replay, since Matt just hit the record button. And the slight eye glint, like I'm going to kick his ass later. I do it for either 4 or 4:30, and I do it for an hour to an hour and a half to about 5:30, and then at 5:30 I shut it off, do what I never need to do, and then I go into my McDaniel challenge at 6. So my day is flexible. I mean, I do leave open times throughout my day, but I do have my hard rocks that I do not move, like our podcast 3 days a week, my trainings, tour with the team on Thursdays, my 4 to 4:30 down to 5:30 or so, prospecting every single day across the board. So I do lock that in. Those are unmovables for me, and I've found that when I do them, when I do those at 4 to 4:30, I get a very good response rate versus doing it like at 11 or 12 or 1 or whatever else. For whatever reason, I'm just getting a better response then. So that's when I book it in for me.
Yeah, and the standard answer to that, as far as when you do your prospecting, is when you will actually do it. The interesting thing about you, Greg, is you're actually pretty surprisingly, for being just you.
Oh God, this is gonna be great.
You're actually disciplined enough that when you say you're going to do something, you follow through and do it. So if you schedule live prospecting at 4:30, unless you come down with a deathly illness like today, where you can't talk to somebody on the phone, you may still do it after we get off the phone. I have no idea.
No,
but
no,
not today.
This is my big event for the day.
Yeah, I showered. This is the reason to get out of bed.
I showered and put big boy pants on, aka jeans, for the first time in 5 days. Big boy pants.
Good. I'm glad you. I appreciate it.
Well, good for you.
So, all right.
No, Stevie, I did not unroll you, you silly girl. Did you unroll me? I'm like, no. That's funny.
God. That is funny.
Also, as I die, I also build time in. And I am going to be rebuilding this up again. Yes, they're misspelled. I don't give a shit. So stop laughing.
I can't stop laughing at that. I can't stop laughing at that. How do you expect to hold that up in front of me and me not laugh?
Well, because I didn't think I would be a dick.
That's so funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, Josh, I've been sick, man. Josh Bryan's he's like, I've been wondering where you are. I'm like, thank God I have a Tempur-Pedic bed, and that's not a joke. There's no way I could be sitting in a bed for 5 days straight and not have a sore back. Freaking love that bed. No, that's
good. I'm glad for you.
Thank you, Matt. What was the question?
We had not moved on to another question. We're still talking about a day in the life. So if somebody's relatively new, give me the, I need to make this work in 3 months. Holy cow, what the hell am I doing? I don't have any clients. I have I don't think I have any database. I have nothing but free time and I want to kill it. What does that schedule for that person look like?
No budget there, 3 months. So what you need to do is you need to what do you call it? Hand out 25 business cards every single day. You've heard about the 60-day challenge. Josh Bryan was the original one to do the 60-day challenge. Thank you, Aaron. He's telling me I look like shit to go back to bed. Super awesome. Glad you're here, buddy. Glad you're here, pal. God. And so what you hand out 25 business cards a day. If you have nothing but time, guys, and have no budget, I have no business cards around me. Pick up 25, make 5 stacks of them. Shit, screw it. Let's make 7 stacks every single day for a month. You hand out 25 business cards everywhere you go and hand them out. Are you listening for the beeping noise?
Yeah, what is the beeping?
I know it's some dude that's painting and he's deciding to drive his fucking thingamabobber around over here, and it's incredibly annoying. But I can't close my window because it's too damn loud. I mean, it's too damn hot in here without it.
Okay.
And then so the 60-day challenge is this. And Josh, I'm going to tell your story, buddy. He went into Starbucks and he broadcasted it in. Good English, Greg. Broadcasted out on his social media channels, on Periscope and on Facebook Live. I don't know if he did those yet, but he definitely posted where he was and said, "Hey, come on in. Anyone around, come on in. I'll buy you a cup of coffee." Why are you yawning? Am I boring you? God.
No, you're not boring me, Greg. God.
So, with Josh said he would take the challenge for 60 days and go do it. Well, within what was it, 2 or 3 days, Josh? Your average price is like $250. You met a lady that was approved up to like $1 million, but didn't want to spend more than $500,000. You ended up closing for $380,000, and you also got another referral directly from that event. So anywhere and everywhere you'd go, hand out a card. Don't be a creep and just walk up to someone like, "Hi, I'm Greg. I'm a real estate agent." Give them a card. Don't do that. Because the point of being in the Starbucks is to go and since we don't have any money in this scenario, go buy yourself a cup of coffee. If you don't have that much money for a cup of coffee, go get, this is not an actual Starbucks cup, but go get a Starbucks cup that you cannot see the contents of, and refill it up with water and go sit in Starbucks and just have natural conversations with people about something that you find interesting about them. Computer, bag, book, hairstyle, shirt, shoes, watch. I don't give a shit. Whatever it is, go have that conversation with them and do the Ford technique: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. And start asking questions about those different areas of their lives. Eventually they will ask, "Hey, oh God, there's 2 of them now." It's like a BB convention over here. Eventually they're going to ask.
Eventually they're just going to offset, and it's just going to sound like a heart monitor died. Just beep. It'll just be so perfectly timed. There won't be beeps. It'll just be a solid beep.
Who says we don't have fun doing this?
Oh my God!
Broadcasting, you never know what's going to happen, people. You never know what's going to happen.
That's right.
But that's what I would do, without a doubt. If you have 3 months to make it, and that's all you have till bingo, that's when you got to get going on this thing. Okay, just go handle the business cards, guys. If you don't have them, then there's something even more wrong, and go get that 9 to 5 back as soon as possible, because shit, you're in trouble.
Right. I would do what Jeff Cohn did, which was go after his database. He was very smart about it, just with the goal of getting people to go out to, I think he had a goal of 2 appointments a week. Of course, if you only had 3 months to make it, you want to set one every single day. But the point is that he reached out, he just made a spreadsheet of everybody he knew. Not everybody that would remember him necessarily, but everybody that he could reach out to. And just, 150 names, I think, is what he started with. Mm-hmm. And just kept track of them on an Excel spreadsheet, nothing fancy. Reached out to them, not with the intention of getting their business, but with the intention of sharing what he was doing and getting referrals. So he didn't look at them. He didn't look at those 150 names as there's a deal somewhere in here. All he wanted to do was create an army of people that had great things to say about him and were referring him to people as they came across him. So he's looking at every person in his database as 2 potential referrals. That's how he looked at it. And then he trained them on how to refer him. So he actually gave them the phrasing like, "Hey, when you run across somebody, like you're at a party," and it was genius, by the way.
Did he give him like a 3x5 card? Here's what to say next time you meet somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Now repeat after me.
With his brand on the front. Yes, perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Whip it out I'm just going to write this on your hand.
So if you're thinking about anyone that may be moving in the next 6 months, no.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you were saying. It's a genius move on that part, because you're not concentrating, because you don't have commission breath at that point. You're not hunting that person down going, "Oh my God, I need a deal. You're the closest thing to a deal. I'm going to stalk you like a weirdo." Mm-hmm. No, it's just like, "Hey, I'm going to trust that, here's what I'm going to tell you what to go do. If you're not going to be making a move, just keep me in the back of mind." Very,
Yeah.
very, very effective mindset on that one.
Yeah, I was reading something from Ben Kinney's team I came across yesterday and about referrals, and it was a really good tip. And I actually rewrote a little bit of the scripting on my own sales presentation for myself to end with this, which was there are three goals. Number one was to get their home sold fastest and for the most, the most money.
Yep.
Second was to give them amazing service, blah blah blah. And then the third goal was, hey, because we do the first two things so well, we know that you'll be so happy that you'll refer us to, somebody in your friends and family, your circle of influence. By the time we're done with the transaction, we feel like you're going to refer us to at least one person because we did the other things for you so well and communicated at such a high level. And I want to do a better job of doing that in my own business, of creating the expectation that, hey, my business runs on referrals, and here's why I get them. I'm going to do this for you, and then I'm going to do this for you, and we're going to do it so well that you're going to be so happy that you're going to want to send me a business, not because I bug you about it, but because you naturally and gladly want to refer me to other people that want to do what I do for people. And so that's it's a really good, I like that approach a lot. Regardless of whether your business actually runs entirely on referral or not, why not get as many referrals as you can? Because they're a heck of a lot easier than new leads.
Yeah, they are. But a lot of people are afraid to go talk to friends or family because they don't want to be that pesky real estate agent like, oh my God, like I'm in business, give me all your deals. They would rather go talk to someone who's completely new that they don't know and be able to talk to them there, which I understand both points of view on it.
I've been in that I've been in those shoes before, so I totally get the fear. That what it was for me was not being confident in really understanding the ins and outs of the transaction well enough to know that I could help them at a high level. And so I didn't want people to know that I was new because I didn't want them to doubt me, and I wanted to just kind of fake my way through it. And the other part of that was not knowing enough about where real estate fit into the overall life goals and how to have that conversation with people in order to just give good advice. You know what I'm saying? Because I was young. I mean, I was fucking 25, 26. I didn't know shit. So,
and so that something's changed.
Well, yes, hopefully, God. No, Craig, nothing has changed. I know nothing. Anyway, but at least now, like if I have a potential client cross my radar, I don't hesitate to reach out to them because I'm not afraid of having number one, I'm not afraid of having a conversation that doesn't end in me getting the business, right? That's a big deal. Number two, I'm not afraid of having a conversation that's way above the level of the nuts and bolts of what I do and having a super high level business and or life discussion about what their goals are. And we may not even get really to what I do for them, or maybe a small piece of that. But a lot of times when you have that higher level conversation, the other stuff like the nuts and bolts, they trust you on it, and you don't have to go into as much detail because because of the high level conversation you've had. So it was interesting conversation I had a while with Frank from Viral Marketing, and he said that's the difference between the way he would sell his service versus how a sales rep would sell his service. He has a consulting mind and he's a genuine business person. He would just have high level business and marketing conversations with people, and they'd want to work with him, so they'd sign up. Then you take a salesperson and they have to go into all the nuts and bolts of everything and explain everything because they can't have that high level conversation. So the more comfortable you get with just talking to people about life and their goals and understanding where real estate fits into that, and knowing that you can do a great job for them, but maybe it's not for them right now, and being okay with that, I think that gives you just a different level of confidence when you talk to people. I wish I would have had that confidence when I got into it, because I would have gone after a different group of people.
I completely agree with you. Sorry.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yes.
Hey, Kathleen, I just put the link for my favorite scripts into the chat there for you.
Oh, awesome! Thanks, Greg.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna go download that right away.
Good, you need it.
All right, guys. Greggy McD. Anyway,
that's got to be Aaron. That's the only person calls me that.
We're 52 minutes in. We're delirious. We're possibly drunk on cough medication. So we're gonna wrap it up. Do we have a jump the line for this week?
We don't. I was so freaking sick yesterday. I had to call off my my McDaniel challenge. Matt.
Yeah. There's a problem. Yeah, we just stopped. Well, this has been great. We'll see you later. I'm gonna go jump off a fucking bridge.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was just all of a sudden I was clicking through to go find the script and I heard like your broadcast has ended. I'm like, what happened?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. Fuck.
Me